All right, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. We're starting with the Nasdaq right now. So really quick, just getting a visual on where we have been. You're above your massive key level of 1807, and then this is your previous 2021 all-time high in the Nasdaq, 1795 locally. You're well above that, and you're still trending in an uptrend. That's the good news. Bad news on the day, we saw some downside. We saw some data and inflation expectations show a little bit of a expectation of more downside, basically. Inflation still is sticky and a little bit higher than expected based out of Michigan. We had some bad statements from the Fed. We'll go into that here in a second, but let's go for the technicals. The first part, you're still kind of operating over that little range in which we traded in from essentially Monday into Thursday, right? Thursday, Monday, boom, we're in that range all day. Yesterday after hours into today, you sit on top of that range. That's where we're at. Now, we also almost got to push into our level around 13.5, 1837, 1835. That was our level up there that we were kind of pushing into. So that's locally where and how we have been moving. Now, the other part here as well as we go into something like the SPY is things aren't as pretty here, right? So we've gotten some nice upside, higher highs being established. But the thing under, behind the curtain here is volume, and it's been very bad. If you look here, this is just the easiest way I can demonstrate to you guys really quick. Right there, 43 million on the day, 43 million yesterday, 42 million the day before that, 52 million is the high on the week. I mean, what's happening, right? We look at Edgefull's data, and typically volume's upticking throughout the end of the week, and now it's actually doing the opposite. Okay, so there's a lot that we have to unpack here and really attack before we get some clear answers going into this coming week. So pay very close attention.
And now let's briefly talk about my favorite investing app and the sponsor of today's video. If you're interested in trading the exact same broker in which I'm using for options and what I'm doing market research on, this is exactly who I'm using. This is Moomoo. This is their platform on their desktop. You can also check it out for the mobile app as well. This is their live news feed. And if you're thinking about making the switch, right now is a pretty good time because right now they're doing a 1.5% cash reward up to $300 if you transfer in. Or if you're just getting started and you want to kickstart your journey, Moomoo is giving you 5 in each of the Magnificent 7 stocks when you make a qualified bonus. You can go down and scroll and see all of this. It's right there on their website. Check them out. The link is down below.
Now, before we go into anything else, I do want to highlight the news going into this coming week, what we're going to be looking forward to. Okay, so Monday, not too much. Tuesday, we have PPI coming out. A little bit of inflation numbers coming out Tuesday Tuesday morning around 8:30, an hour before market open. Then Wednesday, this is our bigger one, CPI. Okay, so we want to see what's happening with inflation numbers. But I do want to say, before we start to jump the gun or have too many expectations there, right? There's one major indicator here that, again, we kind of neglect. The major inflation indicator. And yes, it is crude oil. That is what it is. It is U.S. crude oil. And when we look at crude oil, I'm telling you right now, there are signs that I think that inflation is going to slow down. I don't want to say it's going to start dropping or anything crazy, but I do believe inflation readings, maybe not this reading, and I'll explain why, will start to look better and better. This is the 4-hour chart, but let's go to something like the daily to paint you a picture. Now, the big things on oil and energy readings, let me be very clear here. Data usually lags, meaning let's say the report comes out right here, then it's usually going to be the month prior to this, right? So not this month right here, it's actually going to be for this month, right? And so when the next meeting comes out, which it may be, down here in, beginning of June. Also, too, guys, I forgot to mention, and I do got to throw this into the video somewhere randomly or Jay will kill me. The newsletter, Sunday, check it out. Again, every Sunday we drop this. It's absolutely free for you. You can go over past editions of the newsletter. It's free. We make this every single week for you guys. So take advantage. All you do is put your information in there. We're not going to spam you. We're not going to sell you anything. Just to give you an idea of what it looks like. Again, we just do free stuff for you guys. What can I say? We're nice guys. There are the indexes for the week, what we're looking for, some of our top stocks, some key levels, the economic report, earnings. It's just good stuff. And you might get a cute little pic of the updates of what we did, right? What can I say? Back to the video. This will actually be for this data pool, and this will be for this data pool. Because believe it or not, oil doesn't get directly to its destination the second the price drops. It's not how supply and demand works. Okay, so with oil dropping, this is good news. Now, the other highlight here is I want to talk about what happened the last time oil popped, right back here. If we remember last year, the end of summer, basically into basically October, You know, it was Black Hawk down. It was bad news bears for the market. Am I right? A lot of downside. Oil was pumping. Inflation was surging back. Go look at the market and go look at SPY real quick in case you have short-term memory loss, right? That same time, SPY was down. What was happening with oil? Oil was pumping, okay? So those are things that I'm looking at. And then what happened between October and basically the beginning of the year? The market went bananas. Now, this is where things got even crazier. This is what's really important here. Really strap into your seatbelts here, right? Is right here. December, when we bottom out to right now, or basically April, whatever, right? You have oil bouncing pretty strong. But the SPY continued to push up. I mean, you had some dips here in April, but I mean, ultimately, you pushed up, right? Like, so that the highest peak on where oil was, yeah, you got hit hard. Don't get me wrong on SPY, but that was with Israel, the Iran conflict, etc. You know, those factors you can't really measure in. But I'm going to tell you now, inflation wasn't really surging based on the numbers. It just slowed down. And you know, again, I'm a bold guy. I'll make bold claims. I personally believe. You start getting below the 200 weekly down here. That's the 200 weekly, which it has not gotten held below the 200 weekly. It continues to bounce off that level. But if you do, I am telling you right now, the inflation reports will turn in our favor. Telling you right now. I want to be clear though. I don't think it's going to be this week. I don't give enough time here to where it's affecting it positively. But I anticipate into June, into July, those readings will perk up. That is my personal opinion and what I'm looking at there. I want to make that really, really clear. And you need this to happen because eventually when rates do get cut, that is the only way I believe shelter gets knocked down. Okay. Personal opinion, take it for whatever it is. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at there. A little rant is kind of over there as well. Now, you also may be looking at what's happening with oil. Oil dropping, also yields are dropping. Surprise, surprise. Again, another big tool to be looking at here. DXY also trying to break back down below our key level, around 105, slowly getting there. So although we had a little bit of downside on the day, and it really wasn't a red day at all, it was still green. What I will say is that you're still moving in the right direction. Everyone wants to be a bear, but I don't see a reason to be bearish. You haven't made a lower low. You're still making higher highs on the smaller term time frames. If we really consider where we're at, SPY's damn near back at all-time highs. You know, rewind 2-3 weeks ago, everyone was shitting their pants and saying the recession was back on, but now we're back up here, and all those bears, yeah, they shit their pants and they just pulled their pants on and strapped them up a little bit tighter because they might just keep on shitting because this looks terrible, at least for the bears. So again, you look really good right now. You do. But as you get closer to all-time highs, be careful. You're looking for a break, a retest, a continuation. It's the go-to pattern. You're probably tired of hearing it, but God bless, it works 60% of the time. Works 100% of the time. What can I say? So those are the major levels that we're watching. Okay. Also, too, if you're interested in our Lux levels, our key levels, and our volume indicator down here, I have to clean the volume indicator because I only use it for day trading. But our buyers versus sellers volume indicator, the code is OD40. The link is in the description, so make sure you check it out. But code OD40 with the Lux Algo link, you will get 40% off your first purchase. Just to let you know, that is one time only though. So if you go for a yearly, you get a year off, or 40% off your yearly subscription, plus whatever discounts they have going on. So yeah, take advantage while you can. Now, equities. I don't want to spend too much time here. I really don't. Okay. I don't want to spend an egregious time here. It's the weekend. I'm going to make a video on Sunday. So I want to make sure you enjoy your time with your family. Don't just listen to big old Papi Tyler here, right? Old Jefe, dare I say. What I want to say here though, you had TSM earnings this morning, and TSM performed. They're up 60% year over year on their revenue, and for a semiconductor company that's usually not too exciting, AMD and TSM did something special here. You're breaking out, you're getting continuation. Now, you also got some price target raises across the board. These are my two favorites. Number one, NVIDIA. I do believe with a good reading on CPI and PPI, or maybe even flat, you're going to get the 924 break, and you have the earnings coming very soon. Okay? But I'm going to tell you now, be careful until you get the break of 920. I've been saying it for weeks. People may or may not listen. When you rejected here on Monday, everyone's like, oh my God, how'd you know? I'm like, I've been saying it for weeks. Who would have thought? So that's what you're looking at there. Number two, AVGO. I hope you were paying attention. I've been screaming this stupid name for I don't know how long. This morning, you broke above. I actually didn't catch AVGO. That's the saddest part here. I can be transparent. I can acknowledge when I miss a thing or two. AVGO, you broke straight up. And that was the problem. I was waiting for a retest following my own rules. And you just went straight up this morning. You broke above 1320. I figured it was the strongest name out there, and you just blew straight into 13.4. I still like AVGO. I think it has room into 13.9. Short term, 13.57, 13.55. Keep it on your watch list. One of the best looking names out there right now. Meta keeps performing. Looks very good. Got over its level and held at 473. Good hold there, but ultimately you're looking for that push into 480. We'll be watching that as well. Apple, dear Lord, I don't know what's happening. Genuinely, I don't know what's happening here. Apple is trending above its 200 SMA, but it's making lower highs, so it's bearish in my opinion. But like, I can't do anything with this. Like, if you get below the 200 SMA, I will be going short like instantly. So break a retest. Looking for downside, but until then, I'm not going short until we break and get the retest. I'm not touching it. You can't make me. Nick Saban said it best. What can I say? So those are the big things there. Adobe, top name I'm watching going into this week as well. You're coming into your level pause, and you're double bottoming down there as well. What I'm looking for going into this week is a break back above 485.6. Break, hold, push. That's what you're looking for. First, test into 489 for the scalpel day trade. Then you're coming back into highs up here as well near 496, 500. I do believe Adobe has a lot of upside room though. This thing got beat pretty bad. I'm talking a wife back in 1984, right? Rough, right? We're like, that should be against the law, but it wasn't. We don't really know how. But that's what you're looking at. Adobe's beat up. It's holding its 200 SMA. I love it. I like it. I want a little bit more of it. What can I say? So I'm looking for a breakout. I think Adobe's one of the big value names you got to be watching. Robinhood, I didn't want to shed a little light here. People keep saying, Tyler, what about Robinhood? What's going on? Honestly, kind of crazy. Back to line. Wild action that you're getting on Robinhood. A lot of selling occurring right now. But I can only say it so many times. My position for Robinhood 2025 and 2026. Not next week, not next month, not the next 2-3 months. 2025, 2026. I like it. I think their earnings are great. If you come towards the 200 SMA, I wanted to say something inappropriate, but I like it a lot. So keep it on the top of your watch list as well. Those are my favorite names. That's what I'm watching. If you have questions, comment down below. I like it. I love you. I'll see you on Sunday. Have a good one, traders.